Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Ohio. Ohio.
They'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Let's go. 190. 190.
Looking to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken inside his own 40. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he loses the football a 2nd time. But I believe it was covered by an Eagle. It was. And Philadelphia is going to hold on to the football.
Sunday.
Now it's Ajayi. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Lion. Check. Watch. There, sit. Hey, stand.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. Looking deep for his tight. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 23. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Lion. Black, come on.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Run.
Now Wentz. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to launch this thing way down. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half. And
you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts, to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Black, come on. Great. Sit. Go.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And this one's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On play action, it's Wentz, escaping the pressure right. Oh, some strong running. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the 1st down.
Great 15. Black, come on. Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Sit. Motion.
Wentz now on 1st down. Ertz has it left side. How did he stay on his feet? It's a big play there for the Eagles. 42 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the 1st quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Snap coming at 1. Now Wentz. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Wentz now to throw. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of 5 but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it go again. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
Hurry up, here we go! Green 39! Green 39! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
Out of the gun, Loletta. Oh, and now he bowls him up, and he can't escape, and down he goes. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They go play action here on 1st down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now a play fake. Wentz. Staying it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jordan Willis in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Black, come on. Lefty, lefty.
Working from the gun, Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers. as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Yeah, this is taken at the 23. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a first and